heard of this, but we have a code orange in effect for Jefferson and Shelby County, meaning that the air quality is poor for our sensitive groups of people. I'll be breaking down what you can do to stay safe outside tomorrow. Plus, we're tracking maybe an isolated shower left. I'll let you know right here when we talk about the next big thing. Plus, it's been quite a hurricane season, a quiet hurricane season, I should say. But there's still a long way to go. What the experts at the National Hurricane Center are saying about the below average season so far.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
All right, guys, we have this in effect for tomorrow. This is that code orange for Jefferson and Shelby counties. And the reason why is because the air quality is going to be a little bit poorer for our sensitive groups of people. So if you have asthma, respiratory issues or illnesses, take your time outside tomorrow, avoid strenuous outdoor activities and take frequent breaks. And again, that's in effect tomorrow for just Jefferson and Shelby County. But area wide, we're starting to see that drought worsening across central Alabama. It's pretty dry out there at the current moment. We were tracking a few isolated showers and storms earlier on this evening, but it was a really hot day. Temperatures have cooled off, especially areas that have gotten a little bit of the wet weather. If you're in Pell City, 84 degrees for you, 91 in Jefferson County, 93 in Tuscaloosa. Mostly dry at the moment, but here's what I'm tracking moving forward. We could still see a few more isolated showers and storms developing tomorrow afternoon, but that drought is expected to expand over the next several days. Above average summer heat in effect as we approach the weekend. Yeah, it's hot out there, and we could be seeing, hopefully, some better rain chances into next week. We're talking about middle and the late portions of next week as part of our next big thing. But take a quick look at those rain chances over the next several days. They're still very minimal. 20 to 30% chance at most, seeing a better rain chance Sunday, and then again some higher rain chances for middle of next week. Tuesday and beyond is when we could see a better chance for some scattered showers and storms in the forecast that will hopefully improve those drought conditions. I want to walk you through our First Alert AccuTrack satellite and radar right now. Let's see what's going on out there. You can see over the last several hours there's been a little bit of wet weather for some parts of our area. But as of the current moment, it looks dry. Those isolated showers and storms have cleared up. So if you have any outdoor events this evening, you should be good to go. You can leave that umbrella and that rain jacket at home. But tomorrow, you might want to grab it before heading out the door. We could see some more showers and storms as we approach the late afternoon and evening. Some of our models indicating that a lingering shower could be around for your early Friday morning, but a better rain chance as we approach the late afternoon and evening. This is right around 4 p.m. Seeing some pockets of heavy rainfall. An isolated thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. It wouldn't hurt to have the rain gear just in case, but we're seeing more of that cloud coverage for areas west of I-65, and that's also where I'm seeing a better rain and storm chance to develop. Areas to the west, areas to the east, you might get more of an isolated shower, but not seeing a whole lot in the way of stormy conditions until about late Friday night. But that's just what some of our models are hinting. It's still not a washout, 20% chance. That's really about it. Now for the weekend, it's going to be a hot one, pretty steamy and a little humid too. Mid-90s as we approach Saturday. Today, though, Jefferson County, Birmingham reached 97 degrees. So I went ahead and bumped up those afternoon highs. But if you don't get any wet weather, you could trend a little bit warmer than that. Just be prepared for a very hot weekend. Temperatures mainly in the 90s, almost area wide, maybe an isolated upper 80s. Some of our models indicating around 89 there in Clay County, but 96 in Tuscaloosa, mid 90s for Jefferson County, a really hot one. So make sure you're staying hydrated, wearing sunscreen, taking plenty of breaks. We move on to next week, and that's when we're tracking a better rain and storm chance that again will hopefully eliminate some of the drought across the state. As we approach next Wednesday, seeing another low that's going to develop further north and west of us. Eventually that moisture is going to build down into our area, hopefully bringing us some heavy rainfall so that your yard won't be as crispy as it's been over these last several days. And those temperatures will be a lot cooler as we approach the first full week of the fall season that kicks off Monday, September the 22nd. Well, that's it for that Super 7-day forecast. We'll have another look at this in a bit, but now I want to send our attention over to our First Alert meteorologist, Megan Thomas, who breaks down the drought conditions a little bit more and shows a little bit more about how it's expanded further across central Alabama.
We saw something yesterday that we have not seen in quite some time. Measurable rain in spots fell. Look, Alabaster picking up over 3/10 of an inch of rain. Talladega, 1/10 of an inch of rain. And Anniston around about 1/100 of an inch. Sure, it rained around the Birmingham metro, but not necessarily right at the sensor, so it didn't add to our total for the month of September. We're still sitting in Birmingham at just shy of 0.2 of an inch when we average for the whole month around 4 inches. And you would think, well, that total is so low, but we didn't even crack the top 5 of the driest Septembers ever on record. Currently, as it sits right now, we're number 7. Now, Anniston, different story. You picked up that 1/100 of an inch yesterday with rain pushing you to 0.12 inches of rain for the month of September, and that keeps you in that number 2 spot for the driest Septembers on record. And earlier this morning, the drought monitor came out for this week. Look at the comparison. Last week into this week, abnormally dry conditions have moved into East Alabama. Almost all 67 counties in Alabama are under some form of a drought, whether it's abnormally dry, moderately dry, and we do have a couple places like Marengo County dealing with that level 3 drought. So this is what it looks like now. Last week, again, it was just in East Alabama, now into portions of West and East Alabama. So again, very dry, and we really do need the rain as the risk for rain continues to stay fairly isolated even through early next week.
Well, the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season has passed, with no storms making it to the U.S. or at least making landfall across the United States yet. Right now, Tropical Storm Gabrielle is churning, though, but it's not expected to directly impact us. As Leigh Walden tells us, the National Hurricane Center says now is not the time, though, to let your guard down.
We're predicting an above average season once again, 2025 above average.
Despite that ominous warning ahead of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, the United States has avoided landfall from a hurricane so far.
Overall, the activity is at this point lagging sort of climatology a little bit by a couple of named storms and 2 or 3 hurricanes.
Earlier this week, Tropical Storm Gabrielle formed in the central Atlantic Ocean, ending an unusual nearly 3-week stretch with no storms during the peak of hurricane season. It's been a quiet September so far, but Director of the National Hurricane Center, Michael Brennan, says we shouldn't let our guard down just yet.
As we get into late September and that focus for activity really does shift farther west, closer to home, which can mean if we have storms form in those areas, they're much more likely to affect land.
Brennan says storms can also form and strengthen in a very short period of time. He reminds people to look at last year as an example with Hurricanes Helene and Milton. Those storms made landfall in late September and early October, respectively.
We had a lot of these similar discussions in 2024. There was a very quiet period in August into early September. And then we got really, really busy and late in the season.
The Atlantic hurricane season ends in November. Brennan urges people to stay alert.
If you have another storm form nearby and make landfall within 3 or 4 days, you don't have a lot of time to get ready. And that's why it's so important to have that hurricane plan in place now.
In New York, I'm Leigh Waldman.
And here's a final look at that super 7-day forecast. Higher rain chances middle and the latter portions of next week. Still more scattered. Not a washout just yet. We'll keep our eyes on it. But hopefully we get some much needed rain. That drought is still concerning across the area with very minimal rain chances heading into the weekend. The big story this weekend will be the heat. I do want to remind you, though, that we have a code orange, that air quality alert that goes into effect Friday for Jefferson and Shelby counties. So if you are a sensitive group with respiratory illnesses, asthma, limit your time outdoors, avoid strenuous outdoor activities. But we'll give you way more updates tonight, first at 9 and at 10 right here on WBRC. Thank you so much for joining me digitally for First Alert Weather Extra. What a beautiful way to send you off into your Thursday evening. Stay safe and we'll catch you later tonight.